Should college athletes be paid? The NCAA brings in millions of dollars in revenue from college athletes each year. Are they obligated to distribute a portion of this to the men and women who are making the money? I say yes. The NCAA would not be making any money if it weren't for the actual athlete, and the athletes deserve some compensation. According to the NCAA's own website, the organization took in a total of over $845 million in revenue in 2010 from college sports. Over 80% of this money came from television rights and marketing. The website also projects that they will bring in approximately $777 million in 2011 through 2012, with $860 million of that being from the CBS Sports and Turner broadcast. So it can be determined that nearly all of the revenue is made on sports that are televised. The NCAA makes money from the TV rights, attendance, and marketing off merchandise. 96% of the NCAA's revenue is distributed among Division I schools. The amount of money of the NCAA makes these athletes is mind-blowing. According to Mark Dewdney of Sportsology.net, the University of Texas alone made nearly $121 million for the NCAA. So should the athletes who are responsible for this crazy amount of money be a portion of it? Some say they are paid with scholarships, but Ramongi Huma of the National College Players Association concurs that players are actually worth more than the amount of the scholarships. Huma says the Division I football players' worth is an average of $121,000 per year, and D1 basketball players' worth is an average of $265,000 annually. The NCAA wouldn't be making one dime without these student athletes. The students who play the widely viewed televised sports bring in money, yet the team will be greatly penalized if the student accepts a free meal from a booster. A NCAA basketball player may go to the mall and sees jerseys with his number on it selling for big bucks. Yet if he sells an old jersey himself, he gets in trouble. Even video games are using college basketball and football players' numbers. The academic online website states that 79% of college students work at least part-time while in school. I know personally that all my friends in college have jobs. The student's athlete is unable to have a job. With practicing in games and travel, it is impossible. A scholarship won't cover the necessary living expenses that a student needs. Yes, the college athlete is working, making money for the university. And yes, many of them are receiving scholarships. However, most aren't full scholarships. And as stated earlier, the athletes who play the more popular televised sports, such as football and basketball, are bringing in much more money than even a full scholarship is worth. How would you decide? How would it be decided how much to pay the student athlete? Obviously, some sports and players bring in much more money than other sports. Football and basketball are the two biggest money makers. It does seem unfair for to pay a football player, but not a gymnast. They are both putting in the same amount of practice, time, and travel, and are probably both unable to work. However, James Durdenstadt, the former president of the University of Michigan, said most sports can be justified as part of what a university does. Big-time football and men's basketball are clearly commercial entertainment and have been pulled away from the fundamental purpose of a university. Clearly, the athletes making the big money for the universities are the basketball and football players. I would propose that scholarships could be considered payment for playing college sports. It is true that these scholarships are invaluable and many students wouldn't go to college without them. However, the profits from the sale of tickets and merchandise could be used to compensate the players. Thus, the basketball players and football players would get compensated for the money their teams are making from the huge merchandise and ticket sales.